get into this Matarese stuff a little bit before we get out of here?
Sure. So here's what I would recommend, because I watched the whole thing go
Please.
down.
Yeah, I have not
and,
seen this yet.
And so the comedy special itself is sort of uneventful. You can cover. I mean, it's eventful. Some eventful stuff happens.
Okay.
But I think for what we're talking about here, just to give a slice and a sample, I think what we need. So what happened is Joe Matarese decided, and it is great decision-making skills, that I'm just going to go and perform a live set and record it. Now, this isn't a Joe Matarese special or anything like that. This is just a comedy club. Anyone can be there. Anything can happen, right?
Matarese Live.
Matarese Live. That's a great idea. This is the one, Mike. This is the one. This is the one that's going to do it. Well, it wasn't the one, Mike. It wasn't the one.
Damn it.
And unfortunately, I'll let him tell it why it wasn't the one. But he gets, like, if he's doing a live show, he gets caught into things sometimes where he can't take his mind out of it. And he's very much like a Ray DeVito type. I mean, it is a certain type of comedian.
Yeah.
And so something happened on stage that then you will see when you cover it. But again, it's not as important and fun as him talking about it afterwards. So what we're getting here is after the show, he's talking about what just happened.
So before we hear that, let me just explain real quick. I think what we'll do, and by the way, go check out our boy David Collins with Carl. I think they talked about it on WATP yesterday. I haven't checked that out yet either. I wanted take some time to fully dissect all of this. So I think what we're going to do is play a little bit that Casey recommends here. And then when I go into the tape and watch it, maybe me and Craig will do something on Patreon this week, kind of like we did with the special, where you get a little taste here. And then if you want the full thing, we'll go to Patreon, because Joe gets very sensitive when we talk about him on the free feed. So you gotta really search for it if you want to find it.
He does. He will do real crying, not like Aaron. And so, you don't want to talk about him too much. So, just for context, he did that live stand-up, and then he erased it. And then he jumped back
I got messages about this, by the way. Somehow someone recorded it for Carl. And like I said, go check out him and David talking about it, too. I'm sure they did a bang-up job. But I have not seen that set yet, nor have I seen this, which you did immediately afterwards.
Yes, reaction to the set, and just tell me when you want to stop this. If you get too much, I don't want you to get too much.
Yeah.
I got a lot to explain here.
It starts.
So it doesn't seem like it went well.
No.
Some of you guys all come on live that tried to watch that live stream earlier. I'll wait till a bunch of yous come on before I'll explain.
Can I guess? I don't know. I don't have the numbers here. Can I guess a bunch means like 8 people in this chat?
I think there's, God, am I seeing 5? I might be seeing 45 or 15 or 45 or 5. It's so small I can't tell. But it is a smaller, it is not it. I mean, hey, we'll take 45 over Hacker Studios. Come on over.
Actually went down. I don't think you could tell what actually went down if you were watching it earlier. As I'm losing my voice.
This is like what Michael Richards had to do after his set.
That would have been amazing.
I can't think of a comparison of why you'd have to be giving a statement like this.
Comedy is fucking crazy. What just happened? A show in Connecticut. Let's see if anybody comes on to the live stream.
Hey, Joe. If no one's on the live stream, maybe you don't have to give a fucking apology.
There was no one watching any of this.
This is when Michael Scott invites the newspaper editor in to give the apology.
The greatest thing ever. They give that big
story
check.
No one gives a fuck about.
I don't want your check. I want an apology. And the guy's still sitting there. Oh, it was great. God, I love you. Love The Office.
As I'm walking to my car after the show here in Stanford. Only 2 of
Who's
you are
raining
on
down
so
on him on
far.
the street? Get out of our town, Joe Matarese.
What I thought was a 5 is a 2. It's 2 people watching.
What you've done to Stanford is unforgivable. Get out of town and never look back.
Which 2 are here?
Oh, God.
Where is everybody?
I have been in his chats when there's like 10 people in there, and he will call you by name. He does. Yeah, he knows everyone in his chat because there's like 4 of us. And he's just showing the street, thinking. Come on, Joe.
He's waiting for something that's never going to come, and that's for the number to say 1 million.
This is nice. I've never seen Connecticut.
Lovely Stanford.
Yeah. There we go.
All right, a few more people came on. Let's see how many people come on before I start explaining.
I swear to God, I've only seen one other person do this, and it's Joseph Catalano. Catalano TV.
All right, now that we're up to 3, I'll finally address the nationwide controversy.
All right, we got 6 in here. Now I'll tell you why Stuttering John's an idiot.
In that live stream of my show in Connecticut, about an hour ago it started. Who was watching that?
No one.
Thank you for saying my special was awesome. Appreciate that.
Well, Joe, after the atrocity that you've committed on Stanford, Connecticut, the special was a breath of fresh air.
Oh, God. Did you see what he posted, too? Like, who has given this guy advice? So he posted his special, and now he's posting clips of his special, but they're like 20, 30, 40-minute. They're not like short clips. They're not short clips. You'd think he'd do minute clips or something. No, it's just like we do with mic drops, but with giant segments of his show.
Oh, Joe.
It makes no sense. You just cut your show up and made it
ill-advised.
Even worse digestible. Who talks to this guy?
Appreciate that. So,
copyright strike
I
this
had planned on trying
motherfucker.
to do something kind of fun, which was put a whole set list of material together with all new stuff, and I was going to.
Joe, you just did a special. That's a horrible idea. What I thought I'd do is go half-cocked into brand new material, and that everyone would shower me with roses and gifts and money.
You know that material I spent years on where no one watched? Well, I just penned some stuff out in 30 seconds. I'm sure this will do it.
I got on stage and shat out some material, and guys, you're not going to believe this. It didn't go great.
Yeah, had to erase that one.
I can't wait to watch the set now.
I know. That's why I wanted to do this, because it set it up.
Yeah, I like this. This is like the Tarantino way of doing this. I like it.
Me doing it, having fun on stage.
Still waiting for people.
I'll probably do it again in the future, but I had to take that one down for a lot.
And I'll do it again. Your Honor, I now have the thirst for blood.
I just hope there's more children at the next show.
This is what the Joker says. fucking cars honking by him. He's just out on the streets of Gotham. And he's like, sure, was it a tragedy? Yes, but I'll do it again the second I get a chance.
Sure, does it totally derail my career every time I do this? Yes. Am I doing it again? Yes.
I have to give an apologetic statement, but will I do it again? Probably.
I learned nothing.
A lot of reasons.
The people in the streets are celebrating that Joe Matarese is leaving their town.
It's like,
we got rid of this monster.
It's like when Bin Laden dies. People are just jumping out of their apartments. Yeah!
So let me explain here.
Please do.
So I was doing this show. So you saw, and when I was doing it, I walk on stage, and there's a lady sitting to the right with 8-year-old twins just sitting there.
Oh, what a bitch.
And I knew the
took her
material.
down a few notches.
What comedy club is this?
I wanted to talk about was dirty. She's got her fucking 8-year-old twins sitting there.
Yeah, maybe that's why you shouldn't brand yourself as an Italian family comedian.
What? Only 93.7%, Mike. He's only 93.7% Italian.
It's like fucking John Mulaney did a thing. I went to his special taping, and I saw him one other time, like at the very beginning of that tour. And both times he called out, if you watch Baby J, he calls out like an 11-year-old in the audience. He made a point to do that because there would be kids in his audience. And he makes a joke about how a lot of the material in this show is going to be more adult than he's usually deals with. And he makes it funny. Joe, on the other hand, I don't know what happened, but saw children in his audience. Cut to him giving an apology for the nation.
How bad do you want to see this show?
I don't know what happened in the middle, but
Just a bunch of bad jokes, I guarantee. I don't even remember. I just know that's what happened.
This is gonna be weird. Did you pay to get in? I said to her, and she's looking at me like I'm crazy, like she didn't pay to get in.
Wait, what?
He said, "Did you pay to get in?"
Yeah.
And she goes, "Yeah." And he's like, "That's crazy because you got kids. Did they pay?"
Yeah, Joe, I don't know. She got in. I got to say, the point in your career, you shouldn't be shooing away audience members.
I know. Specifically, you. Get out of
Hey,
here.
bitch, did you pay?
Especially people that brought +2. God damn, she's bringing like a whole family.
And people
here.
that seem to be enjoying, by his account, enjoying the show and sitting quietly. She wasn't calling out or heckling. She was just sitting there.
I'm like, ugh.
Maybe he's like a scared of The Shining or something. He's like, I see twins, I freak out, man.
Okay, what the fuck is going on? What the fuck's going on? And finally I say to her, Can you please leave? I asked nicely. I go, I don't feel
Why?
comfortable.
What did she do?
He's a comedian who doesn't feel comfortable, Mike. Come on.
Can you imagine, like, I'm trying to think of a vulgar, like Jim Norton or Big J. Okerson or David Tell, like these guys that are Doug Stanhope, these guys that are really like vulgar and dirty in their acts. Can you imagine the material they would have if 2 8-year-olds were sitting front row at their show? They would handle it great.
They're right now on the phone with their agent, like, get some kids in the audience. Like,
Yeah. And if the mom got offended and left, that's the cost of doing business. But Joe is like, hey, bitch.
The comedian got offended by the crowd.
Yeah, you're right. The comedian got offended by the crowd. He's like, drag this overgrown sperm you've created out of here.
Doing stand-up adult material
Yeah, Joe's
in
so
front
edgy.
of your 2
Hey,
8-year-old.
did you ever notice that the 80s are different than now? Oh, get these kids out of here. They can't hear that blue material.
20 years from now, one of those kids will be like, have a crush fetish where they're like crushing bugs and stuff. I saw it at Joe Matarese sex show 20 years ago. Got me all horned up on these bug crushing.
Kids
I think he's so edgy that kids can't hear his material.
His show sucks. I watched the whole special. There's nothing edgy in it.
sitting in the fucking front row. Can you leave? And she left nicely. She's like, okay. I go, did you
Comedian
pay to get in?
heckles audience member.
The balls, man.
How did
so
you even
crazy.
get in here? And she just looking at me oddly. She gets up.
That's an evergreen.
As she should be. She's just looking at me oddly, as she should be.
You know, I notice everyone always looks at me oddly. What's wrong with them?
When I ask people to leave my show for no reason, and they see that there's literally no one else here, they think it's so weird that I've made them leave.
I'm sending half the audience out.
With her 2 8-year-olds, and she leaves, right? She leaves. I'm gonna stop here on the street to explain this to you. So she leaves.
Wow, that's how you know it's powerful.
And,
It's stopped on the street.
I start to try to go into my my set list that I had prepared, that I was gonna riff for all the people on YouTube to watch. Thought it would have been interesting to watch me try to fucking make all these subjects funny that I've never done on stage before, which is probably crazy that I was trying to do that.
Joe,
Not many-
Oh, you
people literally do that. Jeremiah Watkins has a show called Stand Up on the Spot, where people literally yell out topics that they have no idea they're going to yell, and you have to make stand-up out of it. It's a hit show on YouTube.
There's all these shows
It's
too
so
where people.
Sorry.
No, go ahead. I'm sorry.
It's so crazy. I had this idea where I bring my friend Tony up on stage with me, and we have open mic comedians come up, and they try to kill Tony and I. And we do it live every Monday. It's this really crazy idea I had.
I had this crazy idea where we sit around and watch people on YouTube and make fun of them in the moment. Can you believe it? Jesus Christ, dude.
I thought I could do this thing where I have all kinds of different guests. I have physicists and I have historians and professors, and sometimes I have comics, and we just talk for, I don't know, 2-3 hours. I was going to call it the Joe Matarese experience. This really crazy idea that only I had.
Now let me explain my thought process on this. No, we don't want to hear your thought process.
Comedians could go riff 45 minutes. But I was like, oh, let's see if I can do it. So after I asked the lady to leave, I start to go into the material, and I'm bombing. I'm getting nothing.
And it's this bitch's fault.
Well, if you would have had an audience and didn't kick him out, maybe some people would have been there to laugh, asshole.
I'm so torn here because I want to hear all of this.
know.
But I also want to pause and save it for the full breakdown.
Yeah, I think that's it. I don't want to give you any more
Okay.
because yeah,
All
no,
right,
because
all right.
yeah, I think that's enough now to pique your interest on that.
Oh, my interest is incredible.
How
You know
hard
what?
are you?
Here's what I think I might do now. And tell me if this is a good idea because you've seen all of it.
Yes.
I think I'm going to go in completely dry. I won't watch the stand-up.
Oh,
Or do you think I should?
No, you're gonna get chafed. No, no, go no, do it that way. Do it.
All right, yeah.
Yeah, do it.
So on Patreon sometime this week, I'll get Ironhead to watch this with me, and
not
we will
gonna
give
laugh.
a full breakdown. We'll do the stand-up and the apology.
You're not gonna laugh, but the irony is you will laugh. Comedy doesn't make you laugh, but the situation will make
Oh,
you
I'm
laugh.
so excited. Joe kicked out this poor lady who thought she was seeing a nice night of Italian comedy.
And then bombed. And then bombed.
You know, if he had bombed, he would have blamed it whether he kicked her out and they left or not. He would have blamed it on them if they'd stayed. So
Yes. Oh, absolutely. Yeah. No, it was all this bitch's fault, as we know. That one thing we're sure of, it was this twat, this filthy lady, and her dumb kids
I
that
blame
left the house at 7 on a weekday.
I blame 2 kids sitting there quietly. God damn you. Get out of here.
All right. So that's very exciting. So look forward to that for Patreon and YouTube members. You can become a Patreon or YouTube member. Blindmike.net is where you can get all those links. If you're watching on YouTube right now, just click join. You can become a member.